Listen, I've already started off the show bad, but good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining us right here at Coach and Company live on the Stadium Network. Thank you for waking up and getting your day started with us. I am Daniel Greer. I'm the guy that was on mute, but I'm stepping in for Coach today, who is traveling to his home state of Kansas this week for the PFL event that is going to be in Wichita this Friday. If you haven't had a chance to go to a PFL event, you have to go, but look at this rain. It is nasty there in Wichita, but it wasn't last week when we were in Nashville, and the fights were awesome. The event was top-notch, and it will be another top-notch event this week, even though it is some nasty weather there in the middle of the United States. But if you're going to listen to and watch Coach a little bit later, you can catch Coach and Bro at 11 p.m. Eastern on Stadium. But then it also re-airs Thursday at 6 a.m. in the morning on Stadium as well. But also we have Weekday Wagers, which is back today at 2 p.m. Eastern live on Coach and Company YouTube channel. But we also might just see a tear from our guy, Robbie Hockey. Now that hockey season is officially over, we'll get into all of that and much more. But let's go ahead and take a look back at how we did yesterday. And it was a winning day, and that's all you can ask for is a winning day. But we go 5-3 right here, and so Big Chuck, as always, cashing tickets. We also have our Demerbox giveaway. If you want to go ahead and sign up for your chance to win the BTT Studios branded Demerbox, you can go ahead. There's only a few more days left, so do not miss out on the chance to go ahead and enter the Demerbox giveaway. But we are locked and loaded here on a beautiful Wednesday morning. But as you know, it's Wednesday, so it's an F day. But we're going to talk hoops, hockey, and hot bats today. So let's not waste any more time, and let's beat the books. Oh, look at these beautiful faces. All right, so we have the OG, the Godfather, I heard him called, but the man in the middle. What's up, Big Tommy C? How are you?
What's up, DG? What's up, fellas? And Coach is going home. The Wizard is going home to Wichita, Kansas. Watch out for any houses, Coach.
I've heard of some bad weather. We'll get into the guy to your right, but I'm going to go ahead and get to the guy on the very end because he is my brethren who supported the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they came up clutch because that's what they do. Good morning to you, Zeno.
Good morning. Good to be back with you guys as always. This series ends tomorrow night, and it ended in one game too many because the Oklahoma City gifted the Pacers a game one win. Should have been over in 5.
I agree. That first game, it should have been done in 5. And you know what? I had your back, Zeno. I had your back because model my ass, Mark.
Yep.
It should have been over in 5.
Yes, 100%.
We'll get into all of that here in a little bit as we talk some of the game 6 that should not have been. But we have another guy. He's supporting the PFL. Good morning there, Mikey.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Happy to be back. And yeah, in Wichita, Kansas, I drove, so it wasn't great. And I can attest to the bad weather here in Wichita. Absolutely terrible, but happy to be back with you guys.
Well, listen, Mike, I appreciate you coming on today. You normally aren't on an F day on a Wednesday, but I want to say thank you in advance for giving me – you sent me a gift, so let me grab it real quick. So I just want to share everybody. Like, Mike sent me this gift. It's a beautiful bowling ball. It's very pretty. And even, look at this guy. He was so kind to go ahead and send me this. It is an exclusive. Look at this. It's a Mikey P exclusive. What's your thoughts, Mikey P? Do you like the exclusive you sent me? Are you happy with your product?
You have way too much time on your hands. If you went through all that, you have way too much time on your hands. But props to you for that terrible prop, I guess.
I thought the prop was great. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into our picks because that's what everybody's here for anyway. And Mikey P, because I've already had a chance to take a jab at you today, go ahead and give us your first picks.
All right. I'm staying on the diamond all day today, and I'm going to start off with the Kansas City Royals money line over the Texas Rangers. Now, the Royals have been on a very cold streak recently, but no worries. They throw Chris Bubich, you heard that correctly, who has a 1.92 ERA on the season with 82 strikeouts. He's fifth in Major League Baseball in ERA, so give me the Kansas City Royals on the money line at a minus 122. And then the Boston Red Sox first five team total over 1.5 against the Seattle Mariners at a minus 130. The Red Sox are averaging over 2.5 runs in the first five per game this year. And again, Rafael Devers is gone, so the kids will swing away. I like the Red Sox team total first five over 1.5 at a minus 130.
I'm a big fan of your play there on the Royals, and so I have a little bit on that here in a few minutes. But the Godfather, I know we're going to look ahead here, Big Tommy C. We're looking ahead to the finals here. What you got in your place today?
Yeah, I'm looking in the NBA Finals, and man, if the Pacers are going to make a run here, I got Piasco Siakam, 22 points plus minus 110. Big Tommy C note: Siakam has scored 20 points in the last 7 home games against the Thunder, and I'm jumping on Jalen Williams too, 25 plus points plus 105. The last 3 games he's played, he's scored 26 points or more. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I agree with you guys. I think Oklahoma wraps it up tomorrow night.
Wow. All right. So I'm not sure what you're going to be feeling today, Mikey P. If you're going to still be sticking with the Pacers, we'll find out later into the show. But Zeno, I know you're coming strong with your plays, sir. What you got today?
By the way, Mikey got extra large huevos back in the Red Sox team without Rafael Devers. They got rid of a top 15 hitter in baseball and replaced him with not one of the other 14. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Red Sox can pull this thing off. But let's start with my Yankees, who are just an abortion of an offense as of late. They've been shut out in 3 straight games. Baseball tells you that they have to score. Well, they're facing another pitcher from the Los Angeles Angels who happens to have the worst fit field and independent pitching of any qualifying starter in Major League Baseball, and Jack Kohanowitz. The Yankees have to score. I don't think they're getting over their team total 5.5. I can't trust them because nobody's hitting. But maybe at some point they might want to score a run off one of the worst bullpens in all of Major League Baseball in the Angels. Even though they're the home team, I'll lay the 1.5 with the Yankees. And somebody break up the Colorado Rockies, for crying out loud. They've won 3 in a row again. I bet on the Nationals yesterday. Well, you have to come back and do it again. I don't want the Nationals bullpen involved in anything related to Major League Baseball. The Nationals are starting Mitchell Parker, who's a lefty. The Colorado Rockies are one of the worst hitting teams against lefties in batting average, OPS, and WRC+. Maybe the Nationals can get to German Marquez because they couldn't get to Antonio Senzatella, who literally is the worst Major League starting pitcher in all of Major League Baseball. We'll lay the half run in the first 5 with the Nats. Throw in real quick, Game 6. I locked this in on Sunday right after the game was over at 4.5. That number long gone. Tyrese Halliburton hurt. See ya. But I'm sticking with my 4.5 here. I told you guys this thing was going to end and end quickly. There is no reason to believe Indiana has any shot to win this game.
I love a fired up Zeno, man. He's always getting going. All right. So before we get to Mark, I'm going to go ahead and give you my 2 plays that I have today. And I'm going to go and stay on the diamond here. I'm going to go with Bobby Witt. He's going to go over the 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. It's at plus 105. He's got a 667 lifetime versus Patrick Corbin. And it's Patrick Corbin day again. But he's also had 2+ hits, 1+ run, 1+ RBI in his last 2 games. He's heating up. So I'm going to go ahead and ride Bobby Witt here. And then we're going to WNBA. Satu Sabali. Over 7.5 rebounds at minus 125. She's up against the Sun, who just played last night. 8+ rebounds in 8 of the last 10. Let's go ahead and go with Satu Sabali to grab 8 rebounds. All right, we also have Big Chuck's plays. Big Chuck's always helping us out and sending in his plays. So we're going to go ahead and go with Real Madrid. And he gave me the pronunciation. It is Ahila. Ahila, I think that's how it's said. But both teams to score. It's at minus 125. Real Madrid scored 16 straight matches. Well, Ahila has scored in 14 straight. Both teams score a lot. Let's go ahead and back them both to score. And then the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Costa Rica, Dominican Republic. Both teams to score again at minus 115. Costa Rica comes into the contest averaging 3.6 team goals on the road. Dominican has 3.4 team goals during their travel. So let's go ahead and get both these teams to score. All right. Well, we also have another partnership here at Coaching Company. And it is the gentleman on the bottom right of your screen, Mark. How are you, sir?
DG, I'm doing great.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I'm doing great.
Which one are you talking about? That one?
And canceled. All right, real quick. Let's go ahead and get to your play because I have some hockey talk I want to get into real quick, Mark. So go ahead and share us your play today.
You got so the Justice Stat Sports play of the day. It's a banger sitting at plus 146. And we're going to start with LA Angels Jack Kakanowitz to go over 1.5 walks thrown. He has been absolutely all over the place, especially on the road where he's cleared this line in 4 of his last road starts. I love that he has that kind of loose command. And no wonder the model loves this spot, especially against the Yankees tonight. We're going to pair that with Connecticut Sun's Tina Charles to score at least 15 points. Charles has been the lone bright spot for the Sun this season. See what I did there? And when she plays at home, it's where she shines the brightest, going over in all 5 home games, where she's averaging over 21 a night. Put them both together for a plus 146. Just a Stat Sports play of the day.
All right, if you want to get more of those plays, like plus 146, I love it. You can go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen. But if you need to, use the code BTT30 to get your first 30 days free. And we'll make Coach pay for it. He doesn't know about it. Don't tell him. But he'll pay for your first 30 days over there. And you can get much more than you just get right here every day with Mark. Mark, I'm going to come back to you real quick because we did have the finals, the Stanley Cup finals in last night. It was another Florida championship. What are your thoughts just completely on this team for the Panthers, but also on the finals just as a whole?
Look, we had the 2 best teams in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, and undoubtedly, Florida dominated this series from beginning to end. They had the one outlier of a game where they got blown out, but other than that, Edmonton had no answer, no response to the way that Florida was shutting them down defensively and really stopping everything that Edmonton was good at and forcing other players to show up, and they just didn't answer the bell. Florida is the dominant team. If they stay together, look for them to tag on another one.
Zen, I want to come to you real quick because obviously we had Skinner, who was atrocious just throughout the entire finals there. Do you think it was more on the defense, that we saw the Panthers kind of take out with the Oilers, or was it on just the goalie play?
It felt like a combination. Look, I don't think it was a great recipe for the Oilers constantly to be trailing first, right? Like, they have enough offensive potency between McDavid and Draisaitl and the rest of those guys. There's more than enough scoring power on that team. The problem is that once again they're playing Big Brother, and mentally they were not prepared to continually be in chase mode and be on their heels, and that was a problem. I mean, they never really were able to control the flow of any game. Florida never looked panicked, and once they got down by 2 goals, forget about it. With the exception of coming back from that 3-0 game, which I thought really was going to turn the tide of the series, but. The goaltending was bad. The defense was bad. There's no denying it. But still, this was a team in a series that unfolded unlike I expected it to, in the fact that Edmonton always seemed to be playing catch-up.
Yeah, Mark, come back to you because you are the hockey guy. I've got 15 seconds for you. The best team in the NHL next year, who will win the Cup next season?
If Florida keeps this core group together, it's Florida's to have. The Cup could stay in Florida for 3.
Wow. I would be shocked if that happens. And Zeno's already upset.
I'm so tired of this Florida team. You take your rats and go somewhere else. I've had enough.
All right. Well, that is, a little bit of the hockey discussions that we have. If you want more hockey talk, go ahead and check out Weekday Wagers. But still to come, we're talking hoops in just about 18 minutes. Halliburton, the injury, can he bounce back? But right after the break, it's Wednesday, so it's an F day. We'll get into all of that and much more right here at Coaching Company. All right, we are back here with our DGen friends, and let's go ahead and bring in the guys because I want to talk a little bit of football. And Mike T, I know you love some football, so I want to ask you, it's very simple, maybe. Who is the best quarterback wide receiver combo in the NFL right now?
Can I say Caleb Williams and DJ? No. This is, I'm joking. It's just a homer pick. It's a tough one because I think there's so many teams in the National Football League that are using more than just a quarterback wide receiver duo. You want to say Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers, but it's Lamar and Derrick Henry. You want to say Patrick Mahomes, but it's Travis Kelce, who's a tight end. So it's a tough one for me. I'm going to defer to the other guys.
Hold on, so you gave me nothing?
Yeah, I gave you nothing. I deferred.
Big Tommy C, show him how it's done. Who's the best wide receiver quarterback combo in the NFL?
Give me Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase every day. He's the best pocket quarterback in the NFL. Jamar Chase is just unbelievable. And now that he got his contract, watch out what those two can do, boy.
Zeno.
I can go with Josh Allen and whoever catches the damn ball because Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league. That's one way to look at it. But, I agree that it's probably Burrow and Chase when you look at it just from a pure high-level quarterback, high-level receiver standpoint. Though Aaron Rodgers to DK Metcalf might be interesting in Pittsburgh at some point this year.
So, nobody likes Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb?
Nobody likes Dak Prescott. That's the problem.
Okay.
No, I hate the Cowboys.
I mean, I love Amon-Ra St. Brown, but nobody likes Jared Goff. All these combinations, with the exception of really Burrow and Chase, who, oh, by the way, play for an awful coach and an awful organization, and they'll miss the playoffs again this year, is still the best quarterback-wide receiver combo in the league.
Here's a sneak for you, DG. How about Stafford and Devontae Adams?
Yes, I like that. Stafford's getting a little older.
That's the problem. If Stafford plays 17 games this year, I would be shocked.
All right. Well, we're going to have a little bit more discussions right here. Coach Acami will be back in just a few seconds. Welcome back to Coaching Company. It is Wednesday, so it's an F day here where guys, they have some stuff that they want to get off their chest. And so we'll get into that and see what they have to get into today as we have an F day.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to the first F day. Welcome to the first F day. Pardon me.
I love how we miss him every day. During the break, we discussed a little bit of the best wide receiver quarterback combo. Nobody picked Dak Prescott. I was very upset, but we're going to move on. That might be my F day rant. But Big Tommy C, I know that you have something that you want to get off your chest because you are the regular here on the Wednesday F day. So what do you need to get off your chest today?
Hey, you look outside and it's June, and you know what that means, guys? I'm a huge Yankee fan. It's the Aaron Boone June swoon for the New York Yankees, and they are in a slump, folks. They haven't scored a run in 29 innings. Our poor buddy Judge got in a little slump. And I've never seen a team in my life that when one guy doesn't hit, the rest of the team doesn't hit. Last night against the Angels, they had 12 strikeouts. They haven't scored a run. Can somebody please kick the bats? I remember in the day of WWE softball, me and Coach would kick the bats if we weren't hitting. Aaron Boone, please kick the bats and do something. Volpe, please do something. Rice, please do something. They are not hitting at all. It is a joke. And the base running is like Little League. And I just can't take it anymore. And for those guys on the fan, for the Met fans crapping all over the Yankees, you just got swept by the Rays, and you lost to the Braves last night with a 4-0 lead. Enough said about that. Yankees, it's time to wake up.
Zeno, I know you have some thoughts.
Okay, I'm a Yankee fan too. Tommy, wake up. It's Aaron Judge and 8 jabronis in this lineup. Paul Goldschmidt is batting 170 in the month of June. What's his face? The other guy.
Belly.
226.
Yeah.
This is a poorly constructed team with
Yes.
a bad manager and a poorly constructed lineup. Again, this is not a team that's interested in winning World Series at all. They got out of that business about 7 years ago.
Yep.
And they are just concerned with printing money. This is the reality of Yankee fans. Met fans can take a dump on. I'd rather have the Mets ownership than the Yankees. At least that dude spends. At least that dude does anything to win. That dude resembles more of George Steinbrenner than Hal Steinbrenner ever could. This is the reality of being a Yankee fan. Be prepared to be disappointed. Life will stink, and they do not give a rip if they win another World Series again.
Have you ever seen a team when they don't hit, everybody doesn't hit? Like DJ LeMahieu is a relic. I just can't believe they keep him in the lineup. And for years we heard about Volpe and Peraza were untouchables in the minors. They both suck.
I love this.
Sorry, DJ.
I love
Ben
this.
Rice getting off to this start was a joke. It's not real. Ben Rice can't hit. Okay, he's not that good of a hitter. He got off to a good start, but this is not the reality. Is the guy's a 220 hitter for a reason.
Wow.
Yep.
I like Ben Rice too, but yes, he has fallen down to earth.
I like brown rice. I like rice pilaf. I like a lot of different kinds of rice. I don't like Ben Rice anywhere near the top 4 in my lineup.
Please clip that. That is amazing. Listen, I'm going to let you cool off, Zeno, because I want you to give me your rant, but not yet, because I don't need you blowing a gasket. Our health insurance isn't that good here, okay? I don't need you falling out. So give us a second. I'm going to come to you, Mikey P. You literally just sat back and watched whatever that madness was, and I love it. But Mikey P, what do you have to get off your chest here on an F Day?
I thought my life was horrible as a Red Sox fan. I mean, listening to the Yankee fans go back and forth. Listen, and I'm going to kind of stick with the theme here and look at the Boston Red Sox. And I'm going to give Zeno some respect. It's absolutely right to hate on the Boston Red Sox for trading a top 15 hitter in Rafael Devers. But my F-Day rant is all about the return. Everybody wants to talk about the return. They didn't get enough in return. They didn't get enough. The Red Sox gave away Rafael Devers. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to mentor any of the young players. He didn't want to make changes to help benefit the team. He didn't want to open the door for other players around him to have an opportunity to succeed. So good riddance. And when you talk about the return, I look back at 2021. Javier Baez was traded to the New York Mets for some guy named Pete Crow Armstrong. It's taken 4 years for Pete Crow Armstrong to give the Cubs a return on that trade. Now, Baez wasn't a world beater in New York, but you have a highly touted prospect in James Tibbs. The Boston Red Sox pitching staff is so bad, Tommy C and Zeno are still laughing at them. So you get two young pitchers. They may not pan out, but give them 2 years before we go, the Red Sox got absolutely nothing for Rafael Devers.
I know Zeno has thoughts on that as well, because I love that. The energy that you come out with. So, Zeno, I know you have something that you want to get off your chest. What do you have for your today?
I'm still utterly floored and baffled at the WNBA and their inability to know what to do with possibly the second biggest sports star in America behind LeBron James and Caitlin Clark. It's an absolute joke that this is continuing to go on in this league, and nobody has put the clamps on it. What happened to Caitlin Clark last night was bad for the league. We're in year 2 of this thing. Nobody should be hacking at her. Nobody should be body checking her. That stuff should be warranted an immediate flagrant 2 and an ejection. I don't know what these officials are looking at. I don't know what is going on. But if you as a league cannot protect the golden goose here, if you cannot protect your biggest and most important investment, what the hell are you doing? This is bad. The WNBA needs to get this under control, period. She shouldn't be able to be hacked. Look, LeBron James, Tom Brady, all these guys made continual beefs out loud publicly about the way their league treated them. And guess what? The league adjusted, and the leagues are better and more profitable and financially fiscally responsible for it. Caitlin Clark's not going to do that because that's not who she is. But the league better get control of this fast. If they don't hand out suspensions for the players, and not the one on, not the Cunningham girl who tackled the other one, because that felt warranted. But if they don't hand out a suspension for the body check and admonish the referees publicly for not getting it right the first time and calling an ejection, shame on the WNBA. It's getting to be a joke right now. The executives at the top of this organization are why it's been bad for 25 years, because they have no idea what they're doing, and they're proving it day in and day out.
Yeah, we're going to get into talking about the WNBA and how it's getting physical. I have some thoughts on how to maybe spin a question that we're going to include Angel Reese in, because obviously she is the villain of the league, but I have a question that I want to spin at that. But Zeno, back to you real quick. If this is a league, an ownership, or a ref issue, because I know you talked about it being the ownership, and then the league's fault, but is it not a ref issue as well?
Of course it is.
Okay.
I mean, but again, silently, this stuff happens. right? The
Right.
enforcement or the areas of emphasis should be, hey, guess what? We got to start watching body checks, okay, and face contact, because that's what they keep doing to Caitlin, right? It's swatting at the face and it's body checks into her. We need to put an emphasis on that. You put a note across the league. We're going to start to put a focus of emphasis on face swats and body checks and looking at them for flagrant twos and ejections. And guess what? Just start doing it. Just start doing it. Protect your star.
Protect the golden goose. I like that. I like it. All right. Well, I have some beef that I want to get off my chest. Sorry, Tommy, to steal your beef of the week. But my issue is with a guy in Stephen A. Smith. I don't get it. Like, he came out on national television and just talking disparagingly to the city of Memphis, saying how he had heard from Jimmy Butler and other players around the league that they didn't want to come to the city of Memphis to play for the Grizzlies because it just wasn't safe. Well, I have some news for you. We know it's not the safest place in the world, but honestly, I live here and I've lived here my entire life. There's other people that live here in this city. There's also other cities with other stars that have a higher crime rate. I don't get how you would disparage a city, a player, because then he went after Ja Morant, and talking so down to him, to the fact that you would go on national television to do that. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense with the journalism, we'll say journalism, and the direction it's gone these days, because people like Stephen A. Smith, I don't think he's a true journalism anymore. I honestly think he's just a guy that is looking for clicks, and that's what sells. And I don't get it. Within the networks, I don't understand why they're still employing people like this. I'm not calling for his job, but I just don't get how you come after a city. We obviously are a small market. It has its own issues, but why come after the city? It just doesn't make sense to me. I want to talk to you real quick, Mike, because you're in Chicago. Chicago has its own crime issues, right? Like, why do you think that you would have a guy like Stephen A. Smith go after a smaller city in Memphis compared to a Chicago? Or why do you think that he would try to get that off his chest on a national television?
Well, I think it's like the public perception, right? When you talk about Memphis, you're really going to talk about Ja Morant, who has made himself look like a bonehead
Right.
in the public image. So you're going to tie 1 + 1 = 2 there. No one's talking about the Chicago White Sox ever. So there's never a risk of danger or talking about the danger of the south side of Chicago. The Bears are on the lakefront. They're going to move to the suburbs of Arlington Heights, which is where I'm from. The Bulls have not been worthy of a ticket on Madison Avenue in quite some time. Neither have the Blackhawks. So when nobody's going to your games and you don't have a public figure to kind of go after, it's kind of hard to attack the city of Chicago.
Zeno, 30 seconds. Do you think it was right for Stephen A. Smith to come after the city in general?
Well, I mean, again, I don't think he was wrong for doing it. There probably could have been a more delicate way for him to execute it, right? Like, I live in Atlanta, and I understand the stigma that Atlanta has, and why free agents don't want to come here and all the things about it, and why, it's a better place to sort of visit than it is to live, so to speak, for a lot of these guys. All those stereotypes have a certain modicum of truth to them, so I certainly get that. But, again, the idea that Memphis is a bad city, I can't speak to it, never been there. But if you want to talk about things that are non-basketball related, those things are legitimate concerns for when guys decide if they want to go somewhere or not.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. Just in general, why you go after a city. I get it, and I know that Memphis has had its issues because I live here. I understand it. I know, but it just doesn't make sense why you'd come after the city.
To divert from playing solitaire on your phone, I guess.
Another shot. I'm here for the shots at Stephen A. 10 times out of 10. But still to come on the show, it's going to get a little bit more physical in the WNBA coming up. We're going to kind of share a little bit of Angel recent of that, have some questions for the guys. But we're also going to hoop it up right here on Coaching Company. All right, we are back here on our YouTube channel with our DJ and friends. And as we bring the guys in, I'm going to talk a little bit hoops before we some hoops. And so, Mike P, I'm going to start with you on this one. Obviously, we're at Game 6 of the the NBA Finals here tomorrow. Who should be the actual Finals MVP?
Well, right now for me, as I have to swallow my fanhood for the Indiana Pacers, I've got to go with Jalen Williams. I think he is the most silent assassin as a number 2 guy in the National Basketball Association. We all thought it was going to be Chet Holmgren. Listen, when SGA is doing what SGA does, which is just consistent production, you're kind of expecting that. Jalen Williams is playing out of his mind throughout these finals, so give him the MVP for me.
Big Tommy C?
Oh, I got to go with SGA. I mean, without this guy scores 34 at a wink, right? He's the guy that leads this team. If he doesn't score 34 or 30, they're in a little bit of trouble. He's the leader of the team. They depend on him big time. You see, after every game they interview him, the whole team is around him. I love that stuff. It's SGA for me.
It's hard not to go with SGA because he is the numero uno of this team. But this could be a Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum kind of thing, just as Jaylen Brown won the Finals MVP last season. Zeno, your thoughts?
It'll take a 40-point game from SGA to win this thing. If Jalen Williams has another 30-point game and close out Game 6, it's going to Jalen Williams, right? It's going to take a punctuating performance from SGA to remind everybody that he's the alpha dog at this point in time, because Jalen Williams saved their bacon in Game 5. That's just the reality of it. So it would take a 40-point performance or something close to that where Jalen Williams takes on a massive secondary role, and it's SGA's night for everybody to follow.
Mike, obviously you've been behind the Indiana Pacers. 10 seconds. If the Indiana Pacers win Games 6 and 7 and win the championship, who would be the MVP for the Pacers?
Pascal Siakam, hands down.
Jesus, he would be the MVP. God would make that happen.
TJ McConnell.
MVP.
DJ McConnell would be a very, very good one. Well, we'll talk a little bit more hoops here in just a few seconds right back here at Coaching Company. Welcome to Coaching Company. If you haven't been with us so far, I am Daniel Greer. We're stepping in for Coach today right here on the show. But we love talking hoops, and it's going to be Game 6 Thursday night. We have more that we're going to get into on our segment that we call Hoop It Up. All right, guys, the series is tied. Sorry, it's not tied. It's 3-2 as we're going back to Indiana. And Mike, you've been on the Pacers so far. The game now is kind of hovering around the 6.5, depending where you want to find it. Obviously, Zeno talked earlier in the show where he got the line right out of the gate. It was a 4.5, which is a great play.
Bad number.
Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible number. And I think that is, honestly, I like the 5. 6 is a stretch a little bit. Mike, your thoughts on this game, any direction you would go?
Listen, DG, I'm here in Wichita for the PFL this week, and I don't have them around, but if I could go grab a white towel, I'd just throw it in. I'm done. I'm over it. I have to concede. It's it. That's a wrap. I mean, the way Jalen Williams played, it's just over, right? You could say Jalen Williams saved the Thunder, or you could just say SGA continues to be himself, and Jalen Williams plays up to his potential. The Pacers have no shot. Halliburton's hurt. And don't give me this, TJ McConnell's a savior. He's not. He's somebody has to produce for the Pacers. And I didn't know Obi Toppin could shoot threes. This team, they exceeded expectations. That's great. Let's go home. Finals over.
Zeno, do you think that there's any chance the Pacers can win the game just outright?
Well, I mean, there's a chance if Oklahoma City gets stuck in the team hotel and the bus doesn't move. I mean, there's a chance, yes. But look, Mike's right. Look, this is the Thunder's series to win here. You have to understand what has happened to the Thunder in this series. They haven't remotely come close to playing their best game. Not in any size, way, shape, or form. The closest they came to shooting their season percentage from the field was in Game 2 when they shot 48.8%. And they had 82 attempts, which was still about 5 attempts shy of their season average. And even at that, they weren't great from 3. They have not played anything remotely close to their best game. If they do, Indiana's losing by 20. Like, for whatever reason, OKC has not been able to put it all together in one game. They've had facets, right? If you look at both of the games in Indiana, yeah, they shot really well in games 3 and 4. They shot 46% and then 47%. but they had about 15 less attempts than they normally average, which is why the scoring is down. If they play anything close to their averages, there isn't a world, even with a 100% healthy Tyrese Halliburton, that Indiana can keep up. I said it before the series started. The gap between these two teams is so wide. I can't explain why the Thunder haven't put it all together. It certainly hasn't been the Indiana defense because they don't play any defense. It just happened to work out that, like we said, in game one, I'll give Mike his flowers because he won that game. He took the plus the points and had him on the money line. But that took something of the Thunder shooting less than 40% of the field, which had only happened 5 times the entire year, including playoffs. That's less than 5% of the games that they've played that had happened. It took that for Indiana to win that game. It's not happening again. Indiana runs away with this thing. This series is over.
Big Tommy C. Anything you like on this game? The spread, total, anywhere at all, any direction you would go?
Yeah, if I was the Indiana Pacers, they should get in touch with Big Tommy C here because I'll send the Cabuzo brothers to the team hotel and we'll take care of everything, if you know what I mean. There's no way that the Pacers are winning this game, especially Halliburton hurt. Siakam plays his game. Neesmith has been invisible. Toppin is not that great. And every time Oklahoma lose, they start out the game, they have like to score 20-0 or something like that. So there is no way the Pacers are winning this game. Hey, guys, call me. The Cabuzo brothers are waiting.
I thought you were going to give me your travel agent's phone number.
Yeah, that's it.
Not the Cabuzo brothers.
You carry, we bury.
I love that. I love it. So you're so wrestling. I love everything about it. But if you want to go ahead and remember the Demerbox we talked about earlier, the QR code is on the screen. There's just a few days left. Go ahead and scan the QR code to get signed up in the giveaway that we're doing with the BTT Studios branded Demerbox. But I'm going to come back to you, Mikey. Here we're looking at the total here. Is there any direction you would go? It's set in 221.5. You can the juice isn't bad, and honestly, minus 105 to go under. So it looks like the books are looking for this potentially to go 222. So, Mikey, your thoughts on the total?
Yeah, I think on the total, I'm taking the over, right? Because we all expect Oklahoma City to put this thing away. And by doing so, they're going to run the Pacers out of the building. If TJ McConnell and Obi Toppin and whoever and Shepard want to step onto the court at the end of the game and hoist up threes to help this number, that's going to be great. But I think Oklahoma City gets out early. They get out quick. And I think they put up a lot of points in this one. They could carry this number by themselves.
Well, Zeno, the model has the Pacers team total under the 108.5. Do you like the model here there, Zeno, on that?
The Pacers haven't won a game this year where they've scored less than 111 points. So take that for what it's worth. But I would also tell Mikey this. If you're going to take the Thunder and you're going to take the over, do it in the first half. There is a danger here if this gets out of hand that it just pulls up late and the blowout slows the pace down and everything else. Now, the other side of that argument is that the Pacers won't quit, right? They'll keep trying to score regardless because it's an elimination game. They're not really ever going to pull up. Their starters are going to stay on the floor. All of that may be true, but from a game script standpoint, blowouts usually go under because one team isn't doing their part to get the thing over here. So, again, is there a world where the Pacers get over their team total and this thing goes over and they still lose and don't cover? Yes, if the Thunder actually shoot to any of their percentages and play to their numbers like they have all year long, but I feel like that's a little bit of a smaller window here. So knowing it's an elimination game, they're going to depress the total here. But I'm with Mikey. I think this thing goes over. And the Thunder, I would take their team total over in the first half because you're probably going to get something about 57.5, 58.5.
All right, I want to come to you real quick, Tommy C, before we hit some player props and other question I want to get into. But looking at this totals or any of the first halves, the team totals, because the model from Mark has at 223, so right on the projected number. Any of the first half, it's 113.5. Do you like that, or even the first quarter?
Ooh, I kind of like that a little bit there. I think, the Pacers have to start out fast in this game to even try to be in this game. And once they start running with the Thunder's going to run right back at them. And let's face it, Siakam's been the most steady guy on this whole team. Halliburton, and who knows the status of Halliburton right now? I really haven't heard anything more about his right ankle or his hamstring or whatever he pulled there the other night. So, without Halliburton 100%, man, the Thunder is just going to run and score, run. So I like that number right there.
Yeah, and I want to get into the discussions on how the Pacers can win, because I've looked at this and I'm looking at the team totals and all that great stuff, and looking here at the player props. There's so many directions you can go. So as we kind of dive deeper into this, I want to ask a simple question before we kind of dig into the players. Mikey P, how in the world do the Pacers win this game? What do they have to do?
Thoughts and prayers. That's about the only way. And I know we're going to talk player props, right? I got one for the entire crew. James Johnson, over under 1 minute played in game 6. That's how bad I think this game is going to be for the Indiana Pacers. This is going to be a very bad game. No, there's no way they can win this game. If I'm thinking about James Johnson on the court, they're not winning at all.
I mean, let me give you the script here, DG, for the Pacers to do this. Right? Here's how it goes. One, the first half goes under because that means Oklahoma City isn't scoring. That's number one. And the shooting from Oklahoma City is bad. Look, we've seen them have bad scoring or bad shooting and scoring droughts in this series for one reason or another. If they're sloppy with the basketball and aren't making shots, and Indiana can get a lead early, Indiana is better when they play with a lead, right? Like everyone talks about, oh, Indiana's so comfortable being down by 10. That's stupid. Rick Carlisle never goes, you know what, guys, let's spot them 10 and then we'll start playing. That's just stupid. Nobody ever thinks that, and it's a bad philosophy. So it's just that their offense predicates on them continuing to run and continuing to score, so they don't ever quit. So the point is that they're much better with a lead because they don't have to worry about defense. They can just turn around and go, hey, we don't care about stopping you. You're not going to stop us. We're just going to keep scoring and you're not going to catch us. That's the way that they do it. They have to get a lead in the first half, start great at the third quarter, open it up to about 6 or 8, and then say, come on, OKC, keep coming because we're going to keep scoring. You can't stop us kind of deal. And once they do that, they force bad shots from the other team. That's how they put them to sleep. Because the other team goes, oh, damn, we better catch up. We better move fast. Miss a shot. Oh, they score again. Oh, wow, now we're down by 8. Oh, my God, here we go. Like, that cycle repeats itself, and that's how Indiana puts you to sleep.
Yeah, Indiana, if you look at this, they're holding the OKC Thunder to just on a team average, and the losses, 14 team assists. But in the wins for the Thunder, they're averaging 22 team assists. So it's all about the ball movement. So, Tommy C, anything you like there?
Yeah, I mean, they have to play tight D. Let's face it, they have to have a group effort to win this game. Neesmith needs to wake up. Obi Toppin has to play well. They have to play great defense. Halliburton has to score. Siakam has been a beast the whole time. They have to play tough D on these guys. And if they're smart, they should start running right from the beginning and try to run like 10, 15 points at them and see where we go from there. That is the only way they're going to beat the Thunder, is try to run them out of the building.
I agree. And it's going to be that. Mikey P, final thoughts. You got about 20 seconds there, good sir.
You know, the only contribution Miles Turner has made to this finals was his letter to Indy on the Players Tribune. When is he going to show up and play? I think if they want any chance, let's get Miles Turner on the board on the court.
Well, Miles Turner has been under the weather or sick of whatever he's dealing with, I know. But I believe the last game, I think they interviewed him and they said that he felt the best he's felt in a while. So I think maybe this is a good chance for Miles Turner, and it would be a good opportunity for him and Pascal Siakam, probably with a little TJ McConnell sprinkled in, be a good chance for them to kind of strike back. Well, as you know, we are getting closer and closer to talking a little Caitlin Clark, a little Angel Reese as always. And unfortunately, our guy Seabass isn't here, so I can go right at him and get to the real nitty gritty. But we're going to get into all of that. But we also know that not everybody can stay here and hang out with us the entire show. So we make sure that we get you our plays. And maybe if there is some line movement, we go ahead and dig into whatever the line is right there. But we have all of that and much more right here at Coaching Company. All right, if you are still with us right here on the YouTube page, our DGen friends, I have a fun question for the fellas. Very simple here, and we're going to kind of start with you here, Mikey P. Let's say all electronic, all entertainment, everything is done. The only thing you can do is listen to music. I want to get two of the artists that you would turn to right now. So two of your favorite artists. Who are you putting in? Not the CD player, but what are you putting on for some tunes?
All right, this is where everything goes off the rails. Give me Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter. All right, just let's
I knew there was a Swift coming.
good vibes. I just want good vibes. I want happiness. I want to sing. If there's nothing
Hi.
else, I mean, just let's have fun with it. You know what I mean?
If you're in the chat, let us know your two artists you would listen to. Tommy, I know you're not going Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter. Who are you going with?
Dude, I'm a '60s kid, so I just saw a fantastic horn band last night, Tower of Power. They've been around for 58 years. What a group! I will listen to them I've been following them since 1970. I'm a TOP guy. I'm an Earth, Wind, and Fire guy. Those two guys, and throw a little Frank Sinatra in there too.
Zeno.
All right, there's just a wide dichotomy of choices that you're just thrown at me as still processing in my mind from Earth, Wind, and Fire. Swift. Okay, let's keep it simple. Billy Joel and Pearl Jam. Thank you. Let's move on.
Wow. Mikey, is it that simple? Pearl Jam, Billy Joel?
No, I'm actually upset.
Billy Joel and Pearl Jam are.
Please tell me you know who they are.
Doesn't Billy Joel play at Mets games?
Oh.
I mean, he's not wrong. He played the last play at Shea. I was at that concert before they tore it down. Yes, Billy Joel was a Met fan growing up in the 60s. So
I saved myself.
Wow. Well, Kim in the comments is saying Led Zeppelin, so I love that. Mine are weird. One's more local. Kings of Leon, which is a Nashville band, but I would probably go a little Jelly Roll as well. He's hot right now and originally from Memphis. All right, we'll be back here in just 5 seconds. Welcome back to Coach and Company. We're going to talk some WNBA. There was a scuffle last night, and we know that we had a rant from our guy Zeno, who had to get that off his chest about how the league, the refs, the everybody, it's just kind of, I guess, not helping out Caitlin Clark. But there was a comment or two in our group chat that we have here at Coach and Company. And it was more from Seabass. And so, Seabass, I'm taking a shot directly at you, even though you're not on the show. But, Mikey, I want to start with you. Seabass said that pretty much this would get more attention and more negative attention if it was Angel Reese here in the scuffle than Caitlin Clark. Is that just due, or is Seabass just eating all the Reese's Puffs he can?
Listen, if I recall, the last time we had a Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese discussion, I said Angel Reese is very comparable to a Draymond Green. Anything she does, it's going to be magnified as a very bad thing. And I would look at Caitlin Clark as a Draymond teammate, as a Steph Curry. You're going to have people who are so sick of Caitlin Clark being so good that they're going to take their shots at her on the court, and she's just going to keep draining threes. And good for her for fighting back. Now, I agree with Zeno. The league needs to get a hold of it, but it's only going to be magnified because Angel Reese put herself in this position to play the villain.
Big Tommy, I'm going to ask you looking at Caitlin Clark, should there be more negativity surrounding her? Because it seems like that Caitlin Clark is getting more into these scuffles than other players. Like she's having teams and players come directly at her. Do you think this is negative for Caitlin?
I don't think it's negative for Caitlin. I think it's negative for the league. Caitlin Clark, man, she is what she is. She's one of the best players if not the best player in the WNBA. And this is typical babyface heel, right? She's the babyface, and Angel Reese is the heel, and Angel Reese loves every bit of it. It's all over social media. That's what they want. But you got to protect Caitlin Clark here, man, big time. She's the best in the game. She's going to carry the league. She's going to make the league make more money and have players make more money. So you got to take care of her.
Zeno, final thoughts on this, because obviously Caitlin Clark, as you've discussed, she is the GOAT. She's the golden goose. She is the best in the WNBA right now, and she is what's drawing everybody to tune in. I know that we need to have just kind of a lock and step of making sure they protect the players in general, not just her, but all the players. But there's a lot of mouthing going off. There's a lot of, I guess, fighting, but also pushing scuffles that are getting involved in Caitlin Clark games and mainly surrounding Caitlin Clark. Is this a negative to her?
Well, it's not. No, because she doesn't entertain it. She's very good about walking away and keeping her head high. And oh, by the way, I'll do you one better. I'll double down. Caitlin Clark is not only the best star in the WNBA, she might be the best star in the NBA as well, behind LeBron James, who is fading. That's how popular she is. The problem for the league is this, is that the only headlines that ever surround their league is when somebody is bullying Caitlin Clark, and all we're seeing is boorish fighting behavior. I'm not saying these women have to be dainty. Don't get into the sexism vibe. The problem is that this should be parlayed into headlines about the game, that the game is worth watching, the competition is worth watching, the teams are worth watching. But the only time the WNBA ever grabs a headline now is when somebody knocks Caitlin Clark on her ass. That's an issue. It should be about the game. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese should be a primetime game every single opportunity. Caitlin Clark should be in primetime as often as possible. Not Saturday at 3 o'clock, because you know what I'm doing Saturday at 3 o'clock? I'm at a ball field with my kids because my kids come first. But if it was Saturday night at 8 o'clock when the kids aren't playing baseball, guess what? If it's watching Caitlin Clark versus the Yankees' piss-poor offense, I'll put Caitlin Clark on. Because that's the bottom line. She's that much of a draw, and this league hasn't figured out yet that everything she does is going to be positive for the league, but it's got to be about the game. It can't be about the fighting. This isn't hockey, and even at that, hockey's trying to eradicate fighting because no one wants to watch it. Right. No one wants to watch fights. Right. If we do, we turn into boxing and UFC, not basketball.
Wow, I love the fire today. I love the topics. But we have our plays. We'll go ahead and give them to the beautiful people in our segment we call Lock It In. All right. All right, let's lock these in today. And we're going to start off with our guy, Big Chuck, who sent us in. As always, go ahead and check out his store, roycapper.com/store. You can check out Real Madrid and Ahila, both teams to score -125. Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, both teams to score at -115. All right, go ahead and start us off there, Mikey.
Give me the Kansas City Royals money line versus Texas Rangers. The Royals have Chris Bubich on the mound. He's fifth in Major League Baseball in ERA with a 1.92. And then the Boston Red Sox first five team total over 1.5 at a -130. They average just over 2.5 runs in the first five. So give me the Red Sox first five team total over 1.5.
Game 6 of the NBA Finals is Thursday. We're looking ahead with Tommy. What you got, sir?
I got Siakam 22+ points -110, and the big guy Jalen Williams 25 points +105, and that's going to be a big time game for Jalen Williams.
All right, let's go, Zeno. What you got with these Yankees?
Yankees eventually got to score. They've been shut out for 29 straight innings. I'll lay the 1.5 here against Jack Kochanowicz, who's got the worst FIP of any qualifying pitcher in Major League Baseball. And the Nationals eventually have to try to beat the Rockies, who have won 3 straight. Nationals starting lefty Mitchell Parker. Rockies can't hit lefty pitching at all. Get the Nats bullpen out of there. Lay the half run in the first 5. Locked in on Sunday, right after the game was over. Thunder -4.5. When people were just crazy to think that that Indiana was going to be close in this thing. We're at 6.5 now. I think this is probably playable till 6. Hate getting into that third possession here. Give me the Thunder to close this thing out on Thursday night.
Yeah, I wish I would have had that 4.5. That'd have been nice. I'm going to go with Bobby Witt over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at +105. Bobby Witt's heating up. Go ahead and target him today. And then Satu Sabali over 7.5 rebounds at -125. She's at 8+ in 8 of the last 10. Going against the team that just played last night. Grab all the rebounds, Miss Sabali. We have our Just the Stats Sports play of the day. What you got, Mark?
We're going to start with the LA Angels' Jack Kochanowicz to throw over 1.5 walks tonight. He's been all over the place, especially when he's on the road. He's gone over in 4 of his last 5 road starts. We're going to pair that with Connecticut Sun's Tina Charles to score at least 15 points tonight. When she plays at home, she's been absolutely dominant, scoring over 21 a night in her 5 home games this season. Put them both together for a +146. Just the Stats Sports play of the day.
If you're looking for more plays to cash, go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen. Use the code BTT30 for your first 30 days free. I don't think we have any Raphael stat of the day. No inside info, but we're going to keep this thing moving. So, Mark, you haven't been here all show. So I want to ask you your final thoughts on Miss Caitlin Clark. Is it a negative thing that she has? Is she bringing any negativity with how there's been some scuffles and some stuff going back and forth with her, sir?
I don't think she's bringing negativity. I think she's doing what she has to do as far as standing up for herself and protecting herself. To Zeno's point, in a environment where the league is not stepping in and helping her protect herself. So I commend what she's doing. And actually, I commend her teammates for stepping up and really starting to enforce some of that respect factor.
She actually got a technical foul in the game.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark got a technical last night.
Yeah.
That one out.
Tommy, do you love how, I think it was Sophie Cunningham towards the end of the game, she took that foul just to make sure she sent a message. I think it was to Mabry, who was on the breakaway there. Did you like that last second foul?
Of course I do. I worked for WWE. I love anything like that, right? Too bad Seabass wasn't on the show today, because there would be some battle between him and Zeno, boy.
Man.
Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. Wow.
We're all missing out on that.
That sounds like it might be a great weekday wagers episode.
We might have to have this and wrap it all up on Weekday Wagers. Tune in today, 2 p.m. Eastern. You're going to have Mark hosting, but also we have Robbie Hockey. He might be shedding a tear. But that's going to do it today right here at Coaching Company. What a phenomenal show. The topics, the show flew by. I'm sorry, it flew by. I really had so much more that we really want to get into. But thank you all for hanging out with us and making us a part of your day. For Zeno, who is on fire today, Mark from Just the Stats, Big Tommy C, we have Mikey P, and never forget about producer man, always doing the ones and the twos and making us look and feel right. I am Daniel Greer. Coach will be back here tomorrow. Check out PFL this Friday. Don't miss it right here at Coaching Company.